Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Counsel podcast with your host, Cory Sterling. I am so thrilled that you and I get to hang out and that you're here with me and that the two of us get to chill and chat about all wonderful, amazing things. This week's episode is called, and get ready for the up intonance. Does the click to cancel law apply to me? How did I do? Yeah, as you can tell, I'm sort of into that. So click to cancel is a new law, and I'm going to jump into some of the rules around it. But before I do that, the intention of recording this episode is to help you protect and grow your health and wellness business with both confidence and clarity. That's the mission. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. And that's why we're doing all of this together. So this week's episode, I want to talk about a new change to the law called the click to cancel laws, which was put into effect by the Federal Trade Commission in 2024. And essentially what this is a new law and rules around anyone who accepts recurring revenue or has a membership system. Hands up if that's you. I know that it's you because it's almost all of us. And the reason why the rules have changed is simply because the sheer volume of business and commerce that is now done on recurring revenue and subscription bases. So in the past, like anything, law always catches up with whatever we're doing in our businesses. And at the beginning, it can be really, really difficult and there can be some really deceiving practices, but eventually government's going to be like, okay, cool. There's a lot of this happening. So let's organize it. Let's find a way to do it appropriately and make sure that everyone is protected. And so what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to talk a little bit about what the changes are and how they affect you. And in addition to that, I'm going to say why it matters. And then as always, I've got a story for you. I think I have two stories today. We'll see if we have time for two, but story time is just always a fantastic time. And so the reason why this matters is because you have a business where you are accepting money on a monthly basis. You've got members at your gym or at your studio or in your services, or you have a coaching program, or you have an online program, whatever it is, you're taking money from people on a monthly basis. And the legal rules around how you're allowed to take that money have changed. And again, they've changed because society has changed and consumer behavior has changed. And every now and then there will be a change within the law where they just say, hey, there are new rules. And you've got a bit of a window to adapt to the rules. And then after that, if you don't make the changes, it's your fault. Now, I know what you're saying, Cory. That's not really fair. No one told me about this. And I get it because, we're health and wellness entrepreneurs. And what we focus on is having amazing classes and hiring the best talent and being able to grow our communities, not about different law rule changes stuff. But the reality is that it does affect you. So I want you to be able to keep all of the money that you bring into your business. I say this all the time. My priority when I work with my clients is to make sure that they are legally protected and that also I know how hard they work to bring in revenue for their business. And I really want to make sure that they're able to keep all of that revenue. So that's what I'm here for. And that's what this information is going to share with you. So when it comes to click to cancel, there's just a couple of basic things that I want to share with you that are really, really simple because, look, we could make this draconian and boring and you fall asleep, but you and I are hanging out. So I sort of want you to stay up and especially get to story time. So essentially, there are four major things that I want to explain about how click to cancel works and the different modifications that will be relevant. So again, just to zoom out, what we're talking about is you have a recurring revenue, you have some form of membership, you have some way for people to, you're using a software that's taking money from people on a monthly basis. The rules around how you do that have changed. And the big things that have come up and that are changes that one, the ability for people to cancel has to be super simple and streamlined and really, really easy. Secondly, if people have signed up through the app, they have to be able to cancel through the app. If they've signed up through an email, they have to be able to cancel through the email. It's important that the same way they sign up with you, They have to be able to cancel that way as well. The communication around the ability for people to cancel has to be clear, has to be super, super basic and clear. It can't be unambiguous. It can't be difficult. It can't be misleading. Just like super straight, like, awesome, cancel anytime. Here you go. And yeah, again, just none of it can be misleading. You're not allowed to make it difficult for anyone, to play tricks on them. And I know, look, for health and wellness entrepreneurs, I know that a lot of this stuff that comes from the law doesn't really apply to us, because usually we're awesome, heart-leading people and we want to build amazing communities. And if people don't want to work with us, we're cool with that. These laws are for other people and like other businesses that try to take advantage of people, which is something that we don't. But that being said, they still are the rules. So again, it's just like simple cancel process. It has to be through the same way that they signed up. The communication has to be clear, and you can't have anything misleading for people. And so now what I've seen that's really interesting, and the story, the two stories that I'm going to share, the first one's really, really quick because I want to get to both. This was a client who did not change their agreements in time, and one of their clients signed up for an annual membership and wanted, and the annual membership price paid in different installments on a monthly basis, had been using everything to the maximum, paying a much lower rate because it was on an annual basis and not just month to month. And their client canceled, asked for a refund for the last month, plus was not going to pay everything moving forward. And I got an email from the client. We get on a call. I ask my question. Everyone knows this question. We can say it together. Send me a copy of the signed agreement. And in this case, the signed agreement was outdated. It wasn't updated for click to cancel. And my client had an insufficient legal position. We were not in control of the situation. And in the end, we had to refund them. And the consumer was smart and was like, hey, I know the rules have changed. You haven't updated your agreement or your process to be in accordance with click to cancel rules. Therefore, I don't have to pay, and give me my money back for this past month, plus cancel everything moving forward. And my client did not have any form of recourse against them, which was unfortunate because, they also had to pay me to find that information out. But that's it. We live and we learn, and now we're recording an episode about it. Conversely, one of a client who I've worked with for a lot of years and who I really love has a studio with hundreds of members and lots of memberships. Once this news broke of the new click to cancel rules coming into effect, they were like, yo, Cory, let's chat. Like they were the first person, actually, once the news broke, they knew about it and they said, hey, I want to update our membership agreements to be in accordance with all of these principles. And so we chatted and we spoke. And what was the most important thing, and like this is what matters. This is a really big thing that matters that I see, is that we designed the membership program to say like, okay, cool, you can cancel at any time, and this is the process if you cancel. And if you sign up for a certain amount of time, but you cancel early, these are the different penalty fees that are going to apply. And we had a table, like a schedule in the membership agreement that outlined that whole process. And lo and behold, of course, as it happens when you have hundreds of members, you have a churn rate, you have people who stop working with you, and sometimes you have people who want a refund or don't want to work with you any longer. And they cancel and they want to cancel. And awesome, we designed the process, we designed the agreement, all of the factors that I listed were included. And we also included a penalty, which said, hey, if you're signing up for something at a lower price with the expectation that you're going to pay for a certain period of time, you're always allowed to cancel. And if you cancel, this is how the pricing would have worked. And this is what you would have to pay. And this is the penalty fee, which we will assess for you. And we had a client of theirs who was not happy and, again, wanted to leave and disputed the charge and didn't want to go through. And our agreement stood strong, and we were able to enforce the charge. And we were able to do so at best legal practices. And that's what it looks like. It's the reality is, when you have a health and wellness business that you want to grow, you have to follow what the new rules are. You have to be aware of the changes that are taking place. And you need to make sure that your agreements reflect current practices. And I know that if we didn't have that, that money would have been lost. And when you have a lot of members and you're constantly trying to bring in new members and offer trials, and so much of what we do is built on recurring revenue and subscription models that it's really, really important to get this done correctly. So again, the one story right off the bat, not following the new rules, no recourse, inferior legal position. In the second situation, proactively updated the agreement. We had the foresight to see what problems could come up. We made sure that the client would be compensated in the event that that took place. So again, the reason why this matters for you is because A, you want to do things properly and follow the rules, and B, it matters because you work so hard to acquire clients and bring them in and have a subscription model and keep the studio filled and support your staff and realize your dreams and your goals. And there are new rules that have changed around it. So now you have some basic information about it. And just remember that at any point, if you have a question, you can reach out to us on Instagram at Conscious Counsel and just say, hey guys, what's up? Follow us, shoot us a message. I'm curious about Click to Cancel stuff, and we'll be super excited to chat with you and support you. And the last thing, whatever it is that you do, make sure you work with a lawyer who loves you.